All right, good morning, or good evening, depending on when you're gonna watch I guess you can say 2018 Oscar nominations. I'm gonna go through them with you guys. I generally don't watch the Oscar. I I watch some of it. It's just because I am a small, ambitious guy about passionate about movies and stuff, and it's really is for people who are famous and um, well known, and I'm not well known. I feel like I am left out of the scenery, and I apologize for looking so. I look so white in this. I look like a ghost. My apologies. I don't know how to fix this. QuickTime doesn't have any um, saturation or lightness, darkness. So I'm just going with this. Apologies. I look really dark. I mean, even sitting back here is I'm dark. And sorry about the background, a little mess. Clean it up. This is my living quarters. But anyway, let's talk about 2018 and as you hear on People Chica or whatever. Director Guillermo del Toro emotional reaction to his whopping 13 Oscar nomination. That's a lot of nomination from a foreign or a international film director, such as Guillermo del Toro. Del Toro. So yeah, kudos to him. You did it really. You work hard for it, man. All right. And so most recently he directed and it was Shape of Water. So let's talk about 2018 nomination. I'm gonna go over some of them for you guys, and I'm gonna tell you guys up front. There's some movie I have not seen, and it's just that I just don't have the time. I work full time, so I'm just gonna let you guys know that ahead of time. So let's talk about. There's a complete list of nominee. Let's just say best pictures. You guys can see here. Call Me by Your Name. I have not seen that one. I will see it before, the Oscars, and I might come back to it and maybe change my mind. Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Get Out. I have not seen Get Out, and I should see it. Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, The Shape of Water, Three Billboard Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. And all of these I've seen except for two, and that's pretty good. I mean, I see movie three or four movies a week, if times allow, and I'm not tired from work. So from these one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine movies, what did I think are deserve the best pictures? To be honest, it really come down. I would say I would say Dunkirk. No, I would say Darkest Hour. That's one. Dunkirk, uh, Shape of Water, and Three Billboard Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Those are the four I would say are are the semi-finalists of Best Picture. Who I would like to win would be probably Shape of Water. Why? Because it's the story is interesting. The period set is beautiful. The creature design, the human aspect of it, it follow everything to not to the line, but it is a story. It's well interweaved. It's well told, well directed too. The reason I said Dunkirk is because it felt like you were actually there. It had that that real like you're actually at the war and you really are at war and you really there's a silence of this, the quietness, and that's kind of scary. Um, why did I say? Let's see, what else did I say? Darkest Hour because it's to me it's well directed. The actor did a really wonderful job. There's a variety of scenes, sequence. The story is really interesting. It provides more than just a glimpse of the man. It show you the man, who he was, how he eat, how he operate, how would he think. So that's why I said. Now let's go to the final. I would say probably would be The Shape of Water and Darkest Hour. Those are the two are the most. And maybe three billboard outside of Ebbing, Missouri. But to me, I feel like The Shape of Water is the better picture, the movie that have a better, more interesting story, more compelling. They are all compelling, but I feel like Shape of Water is the most compelling, interesting story and most magical, most interesting, most human. Let's just say. And these are all the three I mentioned. Darkest Hour and Three Billboard does have the human factor, does have that emotion, but I feel like The Shape of Water have that extra sauce in the movie. The human the human condition was better portrayed. Um, so, and moving on, directing Christopher Nolan, Dunkirk, Jordan Peele, Get Out, Greta Gerwig, Lady Bird, Paul Thomas Anderson, Phantom Thread, not the best directing. Guillermo del Toro, The Shape of Water. I would say, obviously, like I said, not Phantom Thread because the directing is, the pacing of it is just got or horribly long and slow. So that's already automatically out. The pacing, I'm not seeing Get Out, so I can't comment on that. Greta Wing, Irving, and Lady Bird. The directing was okay. It was, it's nothing really, um, cinematic. Was really revealing. Dunkirk is probably one of the most. To me, it felt like it was a more. It captures the whole essence of the Dunkirk. So I would probably all of these would probably Shape of Water and Dunkirk, and I'd probably give it a little bit more to Dunkirk because it's well depicted, well portrayed. But it doesn't mean that I won't go for Shape of Water. Again, I feel like Shape of Water is the better directing, the better telling, better portrayal of showing the 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 what you call it the racism, not racism, but like homophobia, women's right, man's superiority, or I guess men's are better than women. The whole aspect of the Russian versus the American, the Cold War, that sort of thing. Um, it involved a lot of more. It had have a lot of more substances, more topic within the stories. So and then and you get to see all the stories of each individual. You get to see just a little bit in Shape of Water, the character you can see, where Dunkirk is just really just the sound and the quietness. So to me, it feels like there isn't much directing there. There's obviously a lot of um, props, a lot of like planning, yes, but I feel like Shape of Water is the better directing. So, actress in lead role, Sally Hawkins in The Shape of Water, Frances Dormant, Three Billboard Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Margot Robbie, I Tanya. I have not seen that one, and I will. Uh, Saoirse Ronan, Lady Bird, and Meryl Streep, The Pose. I didn't really. Meryl Streep in Post wasn't that great. She did her job, but it wasn't like, wow, this she was the she was the character. She was that person. It was okay. So Margot Robbie, I haven't seen it, so I can't really comment on that. Uh, Sally Hawkins, I mean she does have her performance was really great. It was good, but it doesn't have that variety of emotion of that we human experience, sadness, happiness, loneliness, all of that. She does exhibit it, but the person who exhibit probably the most out of it, out of all of these, I would say is Lady Bird, because she had confusion, she had happiness, she had anger, she had happiness, she had all of that. So I feel like Lady Bird is she. I think she deserved to win the leading role, and maybe following after probably be um, Frances Dorman and Sally Hawkins. Those are in that order. As much as I would like to support Shape of Water, she is a really good actress, and I love the sign language and the sadness and that she have for him and the loneliness she have. But I feel like Lady Bird, she exhibit more human condition, emotion. Actor in leading role: Timothy Chalamet, Call Me by Your Name. I've not seen that one. I should if I can find the time. Daniel Day Lewis, Daniel Kula, Get Out, Gary Oldman, Darkest Hour, Denzel Washington. I have to be honest. I have to give this to Gary Oldman. He's probably the best of these. Other than I would say next to Daniel Day Lewis. But Gary Oldman, he really nailed Winston Churchill in, in a way that humanized him and make him human. So, Gary Oldman, you deserve to win this Oscars. Writing original screenplay. Don't really know that much, so these are all wow. Okay. Um, I've not read the book or and adapted, so I would say um, probably the three would be Lady Bird, The Shape of Water, and Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. But the one that captured my heart the most would be The Shape of Water. Uh, it's just magical. It have all human experience, condition, sadness, and all of that. And I mean, these other three have it, but it's just a more better. It's the story is more interesting. It tells you a lot more about the people. Writing adapted screenplay. Let's see here what we got. I have not seen any of these, know any of these, so I can't comment on that. I'm gonna skip. Animated feature, The Boss Baby, I've seen it. The Breadwinner, I've not seen it. Coco, I've seen it. Fernet, I've seen it. Love It, Vincent, I have not seen it. So I've seen 3 of the 5, so that's pretty good. Who would I think win? I would say Coco. Fernet suck. Boss Baby, it was alright. I mean, it had some message, but I feel like Coco related to me more. It was more accessible to me. I understood what the character was going on. I could relate to the character. So I give my vote to Coco because I feel like it was a better story. It's well animated. It may almost make me tear up. The music was beautiful. It was just a great movie. It was a great movie, and deserved to win an animated feature Oscars. Original song. None of these really um, kind of I don't really pay attention to the song, so this is not not my focus. I mean, I am a music person. I love music and music and stuff. But when it comes down to movie, I don't really pay attention to a song, especially musical movies. I don't generally like to watch. But The Greatest Showman was really good, though. That's one exception. Documentary feature. I've not seen any of these places, so I can't comment. Documentary source subject. None of these really make sense to me. Not make sense, but I've seen any of them. And that's the sad thing is that we as the audience don't get to see these short film. We don't know where to go watch these short films or short documentary. Actor in supporting roles. William in Florida Project, Woody Harrelson, Richard Jenkins. Let's see here. Christopher Plummer, Sam Rockwell. I would say Sam Rockwell. That's Three Billboard Outside of Ebbing. I thought he would show the most human. He was the most human. I mean, they're all human, but he showed the most growth, the most development in a short span of time. So I would give the Oscar to Sam Rockwell as supporting role, supporting actor in supporting roles, actress in supporting role. Mary J. Blige, Allison Janney, I Tanya have not seen it, so these two have not seen it, but these rest of these three have seen it. Hmm. These are all ladies. This one's a tough one. I would say Lady Bird because she is the more. I believe that's the mother. I believe. Don't quote me that, but I think she's the mother. She was she was a really dynamic. Um, she had emotions. She had a relationship with her daughter, and you get to see that and that sadness. So I want to give this. If I were to give the Oscar, I would give to Laurie Metcalf, Lady Bird. Um, then followed by Octavia Spencer. I think she is the friends that has helped the main actors in the movie. So I would say Lady Bird. Makeup and styling, not in my field of interest. I mean, I am interested, but it's not my field of expertise, so to speak. Film editing. Paul Misled, Jonathan Amos, Baby Driver, Don Kerr, I, Tanya, I Certainly, The Shape of Water, John Three Billboard. I don't know, man. The thing about these Hollywood, not Hollywood movies, these movies is that they're so well made that you forget about the editing. You know, like I said, I would have to give it to uh, A Shape of Water. Really, it felt the most fluid. It felt the most natural to me. Like I didn't feel like I was. It was separate. It was chopped up. It felt smooth. Um, Film, like I said, film editing is my field of interest, my field of study. But it's such well done. You know, sometimes you don't hardly notice it when you watch a movie. You only notice it when you watch it a multiple time and you catch it. You know, the transition and stuff like that. Visual effect. John Nelson, Blade Runner. See Guardian Galaxy 2, uh, King Kong, Skull Island, The Last Jedi. Obviously, no, that's a big cross off. Planet of the Apes. I would say Blade Runner. It's just a more interesting visual to me at least. Um, it's just more captivating. It captured the the essence of Blade Runner, the city, everything. So I would have to give this to Blade Runner 2049, and then followed maybe by nothing really. These other movies are does have great visual. Maybe just to Guardian and Galaxy, but Blade Runner is probably the top runner here. So music original score, they're all really good. And I'm surprised that Blade Runner is not in here. That's surprisingly, uh, because the scores in Blade Runner is amazing. It was really captivating. It puts you right in the movie, and that's the magic of scores and music. So, and that's the one thing that um, some of these great movies that the music you is so good, the acting is so good, the visual is so great, you forget the music sometime. So that's why I say 20 Blade Runner 2049. The music is the scores are so it's a part of the essence of the movie, and then you can tell, you know. I would have to give this movie to this score. I want to. I would have to check out Dunkirk again. Um, Shape of Water. I couldn't tell if there was any uh, score in there. There probably was. I didn't listen. I didn't hear it or remember. I almost want to give it to Blade Runner 2049 because the music score there was just superb. It was great. It really captured it, pulls you in. These kind of, that's why I'm kind of not sure. I would probably give it to Shape of Water, Dunkirk. Because that last, the other two, Phantom Thread, it was just a lot of pianos. A lot of, it was just boring, like repetitive to me. It felt like repetitive. And I just don't like the movie's pacing at all. It's just not great. Short film live, I have not seen any of these. Short animated, I've not seen any of these. Sound mixing, Baby Driver, Blade Runner, yes. But I gotta go with Blade Runner. That's probably have the best score mixing sounds ever. Sound, musical original score. Fortunately, I'm sad it doesn't have original scores. Surprisingly, you'd think they would be original scores, but and then here is for sound mixing. Anyway, I have to give this to Blade Runner. Just more, the movie had more emphasis on it. Sound editing, I would have to give it to Blade Runner. It just this movie had more sound in it. So costume design, let's go to it. Let's see, Victoria and Abdul. I've not seen that one. Most of these. I would have to give it to Beauty and the Beast. It just had more costume. It's just a movie that have more costume design. So I have to give it to Beauty and the Beast because of they really captured the look of the animated. So I would have to give it to the Beauty and the Beast. And probably followed by maybe Victoria Abdul if I've seen it. Then probably The Darkest Hour. Cinematography. I will have to give it to Blade Runner, really. Blade Runner has some of the amazing cinematography out of the bunch. Probably would be the three would be Blade Runner, obviously, Dunkirk, Darkest Hour, and Shape of Water. But definitely Blade Runner. The cinematography, the lighting, everything is just wow. They did their homework, and this is to me feel like a Blade Runner. The cinematography is feel like a master is painting a picture, and these other one, it's not I mean, they are masters, but they're not. They did not have a master cinematographer actually doing the painting for us, for the audience. Blade Runner, you got the win here. Production design. They're all really good. I have to give it to all of these. Beauty and the Beast, it looks a lot CGI, so I don't really quite give it to that. But Blade Runner, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, and Shape of Water, I would have to give it to Dunkirk just because of the sheer production of it, of everything. So I would have to either give it to. It's really, really hard. The reason I say production design is what does that include? Props, clothing, that sort of thing. So I don't know what the definition is. I'm thinking that it's actually designing the prop, the stage, the look, everything. So I would, if I were to say, I would probably give it to, Blade Runner 2049. Shape of Water, probably. I mean, these all are really, really, really good. These last four here, But most I want to say probably Blade Runner 2049 because I feel like it's a more it had more aesthetic design, more aesthetic production. But then also Dunkirk had a lot of its didn't have a lot, but it had a lot of production, set props and stuff like that. So it's kind of hard. Yeah. So that is the end of my talk or talk about 2018 Oscars nominations. Um, and these are my thoughts and who I think will win. Like I said, I've not seen all the movie. I've seen most of them because I am, a movie fanatic, a movie file, cinema file, and I love movies. Um, like let me just recap. Best Picture, the three thing the thing that people worry people as a directors or movie you want to win the most is probably Best Picture. I would give it to Shape of Water. It's better. It's a more interesting. It's a more interesting movie. Directing, I would say I give it to Guillermo del Toro. Uh, Leading actress, I would give it to Saoirse Ronan, Lady Bird. Actors in leading role, I give it to Gary Oldman. Now writing, uh, animated feature, I give it that to Coco. Music, documentary. Let's move on. Actress in supporting roles. Lady Laurie Metcalf in Lady Bird. Um, Film editing, I would have to say Shape of Water. Visual effect, I would have to say surprisingly visual effect is not in Shape of Water is not in there. I didn't notice. I would skip that to Blade Runner 2049. And original score, I would give it to none of these really. Uh, Probably Star Wars because it got the most. You would think that Star Wars had more music, and then Shape of Water. Probably Shape of Water because I don't like Star Wars at all. Last Jedi. You see here, sound mixing, Blade Runner. Sound editing, Blade Runner. Cinematography, Blade Runner. So that is kind of a short recap of what I think. But anyway, guys, that is who I would nominate for the Oscars. I'm unbiased. I because I am biased, but I do understand there are good movies for his own categories. So, what do you think? Who do you think should win for each of these categories? Let me know in the comment section below. Who do you think should win? I would like to know and to see who will win. It actually will be broadcast on March 4th, I believe. But anyway, guys, please like, thumbs up, share, subscribe, and browse my YouTube channel. And press the bell button, please. That will help me a lot, okay? Anyway, guys, kind of going, hello? Anyway, oh, I think I maxed it out here.